Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we have the Shaman King Len action figure. Last time we did our first Shaman King figure, which was Yo, and we have him here for a size comparison of the two figures. And then today we've got the Len. So this was my favorite character from the Shaman King show. In the manga, his name is Ren, but in the American anime they changed it to Len. Up here on the packaging we've got the name of the show, got the figure, got the ghost, this thing that will go on the weapon. We'll get to that in a little bit. We've got Len, and then we've got his ghost, Basson. So neat picture there. Got the yellow eyes, a distinct feature of the yellow eyes, and then the pointy hair for him. And then on the back we have the other figures that are also available. We have another version of Yo up here in the black outfit. We've got Rio, Len, and a couple other guys down there at the bottom. I'll be doing Rio as well. I've got this figure, and then I will look to get these. So Trey in the anime, I believe Zeke in the anime, it's Hao in the manga. I've got to look up his name too in the manga. So we've done this one, got this one today, this one coming up soon, and I'll look at getting the other ones as well. So there's the packaging one more time. And this is a figure that I actually had a picture of when I was a kid. I could never find it in store, so I printed off a picture of the figure and I kept it in a folder next to my bedside because I wanted it that badly. So I actually got it for Christmas 2 years ago. It's been sitting in the packaging, and that was the perfect time to open it. So we'll go ahead and get started just like the other ones, right down here at the bottom, and then kind of work our way up and try to keep it as clean as possible. And it's already not too clean, but let's see what we can do. Some are a little bit tougher than others. Okay, there we go. So that's the thing on this one. That's what I found out last time, is it has a plastic cover that kind of folds over, so you can't just break the plastic off. You can't just separate it from the package. So there we go, this little piece right here, and then we'll go ahead and get this part off. So like we always do, just lift up this piece, and then we'll pull out the figure, and we'll set this off to the side for storage. So got a little rip, but nothing major. Easily just put the toy right back in, and looks like it never even came out of the package. Perfect way to store them. And then we got the figure right here. Immediately you notice the yellow eyes and the pointy hair, and then he's got his outfit from the Shaman King fights. Here goes the head of the ghost. So there is that. Try to get that to focus in. Just 1 second. Come on. There we go. So if you guys can see that. Got 2 little eyes, and then the helmet that he wears. Set that off to the side, and then here we have what looks like the attachment piece for putting the ghost onto the weapon. Make sure it's focused in. There we go. Sorry about that. And then we've got this, which in the manga they refer to as the oversoul, and then this will go on the weapon. And then here we can see that same, let's see, try to get that to really focus in, so we can see the same kind of, there we go, head and face as we saw on that other little piece. You can kind of see the helmet points here, and then you can see the armor. And then we've got the other little guy too. So this is this head is basically this piece right here. It'll make a little bit more sense once the video, a little later on in the video, once we have the whole figure put together. So let's go ahead and loosen this plastic over here in the back. It's holding him in. And then we will get the figure out. Absolutely love this one. My favorite Shaman King characters start off as a bad guy and then became good throughout the anime and manga. Just a quick look at the figure here. There's the hair. You can see the pants, weapon, shoes, little detailing here. Let's get a close up of his face. There's the weapon. And then he's got his, I forget the name of it, the thing that they wore to notify them of when the next fight was in the shaman fight, the next round, who they were fighting and where. So that's a neat feature that he's got that on his arm. We'll go ahead and set this figure down, and so he balances pretty well. And then we'll go ahead and get these other attachments on here. So I think the way that this goes is there's this plastic piece that we got, and then one part will go here in the back of his leg. Got the right side there. And then the actual spirit piece, that little head that we saw, will go here. And so just like we would see him in the show floating around Len, we see him right here on the figure, just floating around Len. So really neat how they added that little piece in. Like I said, it connects to the leg, and it's kind of that see-through, almost clear. I mean, you can see it with this background, but and the packaging was actually kind of hidden away, so I was wondering how it would hold him up, but it's not an obvious detail. So you got this nice little clear piece to hold him up, and it looks just like they would look in the show, always together. Zoom in for the detail. And then the last thing is to add this piece onto the back of the weapon. Now in the show, you know, when he's fighting, this kind of hovers here around the front, so whenever he attacks, it's like they're attacking together. But for the figure, they have it set just to add right here on the back, which is completely fine. It looks awesome back there. So there's the figure up close. There's the armor and the head. And all this piece, for those who aren't familiar with the show, all this piece means is he infuses the ghost into the weapon to fight together with him. And then this is just a sign of the ghost being infused into the weapon. And so now they're going into battle together. So let me just adjust this a little bit. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and set him down. And we're going to lower the camera to get a good view of him. And then just to kind of go back onto what we were saying about him. Same thing here on the Yo figure. It's just this ghost that he's got here infused into his sword, and so you see him show up here with the armor, and we're going to pop them down right next to each other. And then let's go ahead and lower this camera like we always like to do. Get a close-up view. And there they are. So we got Yo and we got Len. Let me turn him a little bit. There they are together. Figures are a good size. They match them up well height-wise. They don't bend at the knee. They don't bend at the elbow. They swivel a little bit at the waist. A little bit better for display, probably, but I guess you could, if you're someone who enjoys playing with the action figures, you could really play out some scenes from the show if you wanted to, and wouldn't harm the figure in any way. Just limited how much you can move them around, but it doesn't mean you can't try. So we got Yo, sword, Amidamaru, and then it's called the Oversoul in the manga, so we'll just call it that, but infused in the sword. And then we got Len with Basson, and then infused into, not really sure what this thing is called. I can never quite figure that out, but really neat weapon. A little bit more of a close-up of him. Again, the yellow eyes really stand out on the figure. And we'll go ahead and lift this up. And get one more view of the figure up close. See all the details. Unbelievable. So happy to finally have opened this one. So thank you guys for watching. And our next one, we're either going to go back to Batman the Animated Series. We've got a Vegeta base form from the Android Saga coming in from Dragon Ball Z. We've also got some Spider-Man the Animated Series we haven't done. So we'll either do Batman, Spider-Man, Dragon Ball Z, or maybe go ahead and do Rio from Shaman King. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.